Good morning. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to class. Lovely to see you. Okay, so finding our comfortable seat, just getting a nice tall spine and relaxing everything down to the floor and just letting your spine lift up like a new shoot coming out of the ground. So just feeling that space in the spine. Shoulders are really relaxed. You can let your eyes close completely or take the gaze to the floor, whichever is most comfortable. Just relaxing into the breath, finding it in your belly, in your chest, front of the body, sides of the body, back of the body. Just noticing the fullness or the shallowness of the breath. Bringing our hands together at the heart, Anjali Mudra. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga. And with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So on this wonderful new day, what do you need today for self-transformation? Just letting those thoughts come in and then form them into a positive sentence as if it were already happening. And then repeating that to yourself 3 times. And then tucking that sankalpa deeply in your heart space. I'll chant one Om. Join me if you can. My voice will cut out because I have on, hopefully, noise removal. But just join in and be lovely with your Om. Exhaling the breath out and inhaling to chant. Om. Using an inhale breath to flutter the eyes open. Just interlacing the fingers for a moment. And let's do a little infinity symbol, little figure 8. Just a little infinity symbol. And then let's go in the opposite direction. And then press the arms away. Just press, press, press. And let them come up until you just feel the tension in the shoulder, the bone often meeting bone. Good. And then release the arms to the sides. Wiggle your fingers. Really like putting your fingers through some deep bear. And then relax and take your arms back behind you. Interlace the fingers there and open the heart in the chest. Good. So while you're lifting and pressing your arms downward, let your neck move gently, slide to maybe lift your chin just a little to make sure there's no compression. Once more to either side. And then coming back into the center. And then let's release our arms and give ourselves a little. Just notice which arm you put on top. We'll use the opposite one in a moment. Just a little hug. Good. And then take the arms back up overhead, way up overhead. And again, wiggle your fingers. This time, let's wiggle our wrist all the way down to shoulder height. Go in the opposite direction with your wrist. Keep wiggling your fingers. Good. And then press away an imaginary wall. Good. And then releasing the arms back behind, taking the uncomfortable lace, the one you didn't take the first time, and squeezing and opening the heart space. Pressing the shoulders and arms down toward the floor. And then yes with our head. Just very gentle. Don't let your head go. Be sure you're keeping control. If it makes you dizzy, just slow it down a little. Go really slowly. And maybe have your eyes open and see something. One more set. Down and up or down. Then come into a neutral spot. Then we're going to release the arms and take the other arm on. Which one you didn't take the first. And a little massage into your scapula, into your shoulder blades. Just a little bit of a massage. Right. And then just release your arms for a moment to your legs. Let your palms be facing up for just a moment. Right. And we're going to do just a little bit of a head massage. So just pulling your fingers above the temples. Just pressing in. And then to sort of help our lymph system, we're going to do just like a mohawk haircut. We're going to go all the way through from the beginning, all the way through. Good. And then just kind of touch your head gently, just very gently. And then down on both sides of your ears, just bringing lymph out into the clavicle, just on both sides of your ears. Just right to the clavicle. One more time, just drawing the lymph. And then let's wiggle our shoulders for a minute, just bringing action into the shoulders, up and down, up and down. Good. And then bring them both even for a moment, and then let them come up and swallow your neck, and then press them down, way down. And then let them come up, and then press them down, way, way down. Good. And then relax them completely. Let's switch our leg that we had in front. Good. And then just leaning out to the side. So now working a little bit with the rib cage. So just run your hand up and down your rib, right into, from the last rib up into your armpit for a minute. Just rub your hand. Run your hand there. Just drawing things up. And then reach the arm over. Just reaching it over. And then letting our left elbow be the manipulator. So just bend the elbow and then come back up. And bend the elbow and coming back up. You're not all the way up, almost up. Elbow up. And then this time, let's stay in that position for a moment. Just reaching, reaching, reaching. And then just the arm. Stay there with your whole body. Just the arm coming out at shoulder height. Right there. And then take your gaze up toward the ceiling. Just a little bit, not all the way. And then press up. And then let the other arm just float up with it. And then relax. So just notice how that side of the body feels compared to this side of the body. Okay, and we're going to lean over, just leaning over. Okay. And then take the arm and just reach it up. Oh, let's get our ribs first. Thank you, Hannah. Let's get those ribs. So we're working with pulling some of that lymph up into the right under the clavicles. Good. And then just reach the arm over. And right now your right arm is straight. Don't lock it though. And then bend and lengthen and bend and lengthen Bend and lengthen. Good. 2 more. And this one we're going to stay. So just reach, reach, reach for a moment. Good. And then just the arm, coming out to shoulder height. Good. And then gently just gazing a little bit toward the ceiling. And then gazing back toward me before pressing up. Let both arms just float up for a moment. Now keeping your shoulder, but it's firmly on the back. Bring your hands toward one another. And then open. So we're holding maybe a soccer ball size. So coming in, shoulder blades are staying on the back, so we're not going to touch the hands. And then coming back. Good. And then one more time. Right to there. And then let's see about going up with that ball, holding it up overhead. Good. Wherever you've got it. And then just take your hands and push that ball way up toward the ceiling. Way, 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 way up. Good. And then let's flip the fingertips toward me. Just flip them toward me. And then bring the arms down. Nice and fingertips are like Frankenstein. Okay. And then flip the palms up. And then again, take receiving and just letting your shoulders melt for a moment. Good. So now let's just do a little bit of rotations around the fingers. So just letting yourself go. Tailbone, sit bone, pubic bone, sit bone. Making little circles. Good. And then let's go back in the other direction. Good. And then let's just come up to seated for a moment. Now we're going to take just a little twist. Each time we're going to inhale and twist, but as we do that, we're going to inhale and twist. We're going to go a little bit, and then we're going to come back. We're going to go a little bit, we're going to come back. And on the fourth time, we're going to stay. But I want you to think about letting it grow gradually. So not trying to do your best twist initially, just letting the spine use those rotators, okay? So exhale the breath out. Good. And then inhale, lift and twist. And exhale, return. Inhale, lift and twist. And exhale, return. Inhale, lift and twist. And exhale, return. This time we're going to stay. Inhale, lift and twist. Good. Initially, just bring your chin right over your sternum so that you're sure that your twisting is with your thoracic spine, not so much your axis atlas combination at the top of the spine. And then very gently, just take your chin up a smidgen, just a tiny bit, and then take your chin out over your left shoulder. Breathing. Notice where you have a lot of breath and where you have compression. Belly is stable. Breath is in the chest. And then we're going to arc the spine, arc the chin up a little and take the chin over our right shoulder. Just nice and gentle. Looking out to the right, keeping the thoracic spine twisting to the left. One more full breath. And then one more inhale, lift. And exhale, return. And just notice the difference of each side of the body. Ida on the left, Pingala on the right. So we're going to inhale, lift, and twist over to the right. Exhale, return. Inhale, lift and twist. Just take it gently, these first three. Exhale, return. Inhale, lift and twist. Exhale, return. And one last one. Inhale, lift and twist. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Bring your chin over your sternum. Keep opening your right shoulder. And then very gently take your chin up just a smidgen and then take it out over your right shoulder. Breathing. Again, noticing where you have a full breath and where you don't. And then very gently arc the chin up a little and bring the chin over your left. Nice and you feel your sternum headed over to the right as you gaze to the left. Good. And then exhale and release, nice and slow. And then just go a little bit over, maybe a little hula with your arms and hands. And then come back to the center, a little bit of hula over to the other side. Just noticing the flexibility of your spine for a moment. Let's do one more set. Come around to the side. Spine is really tall and open, open, open. And then coming back to the center. Really lifting. Good. And then back to the center. Excellent. Excellent. So let's take our right leg for just a second. Let's just grab the right leg and go back and forth just a little. Try to not move your body. So just the leg. Just try to move the leg back and forth. Okay. And then get it somewhere in the middle and up and down a little. Just a little up and down. Great. And then let's tuck that leg in, other one out. Okay. Good. So initially, back and forth, trying to keep the body stable and just moving the leg, the head of the femur in the acetabulum, back and forth. And then now a little up and down. Good. Okay. And then let's take both legs up for a moment, just bringing them where they're right. I'm going to go to the side for a sec, just so you can see the angle. So just reaching back and making this beautiful V with your spine and your legs. Okay. And then you can hold on to the bottom of the legs for a moment. And just lift the toes just a little bit off the floor. We're not going to go up into boat right now. Just lift the toes a little bit off the floor and find that V. Shoulders are rolled up and back and down. Point your toes. And then just flex your feet. You're holding on behind the knees. Just feel the difference in the tendons behind the knees when you point your toes. And flex your feet. Good. And then just a little rise with one and return it. And a little rise with the other and return it. Up with one and return. Up and return. This is the only action the knee really likes. Flexion and extension. Turn. One more. Flexion and return. Good. So just being there for just a moment, just see about releasing your hands just for a moment. And then hands to the front of the legs and put your feet on the floor. Good. So pull yourself up, just nice and up on top of your sit bones, just a little like Lifting, good. Sternum up, great. And then the soles of the feet together. I'm going to put some blocks underneath my legs for a moment while I have the soles of my feet together. If you've got a couple of blocks just to support you. Good. Okay. So here we are. We've got this diamond shape that we've made for our spine. I know you've all seen a lamp that has the base in the front and then the lamp comes up from the top. So I want us to think about our feet being really heavy and our spine being really light and lifting. Good. And then press the toes together and open them. So toes are going to open. All of the toes are going to open, and then the toes are going to close. And the toes are going to open, and the toes are going to close. And look at the arches of your feet. The toes are going to open. The toes are going to close. One more time. Toes will open. Good. And then bring your knees up. Toes are still up. Toes are still up. Good. And just notice your arches on the floor. So just getting acquainted with your arches when your toes are up. And then drape your toes down and see if you lost your arches. Okay. Back up with your toes. Coming up with the toes. And then down. One more time. Up with the toes. Up, 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 up. Feel them really lift. And down. Great. And then let's go over onto all fours. Good. So take the time to make sure that your knees are underneath your hips and your wrists are underneath your hands. Your hands are in front of your shoulders. Good. So let's start with just a little Vidalasana, a little cat pose. So let's add our feet and our legs because they're so important as the base of our postures. So curl the toes under as you arch the spine toward the ceiling, and then lay the feet out as you arch the spine to the floor. Exhaling where you need the most power. You can play with the breath, decide which one you like, and you might change it every once in a while. The next time you look back, make sure you can only see your big toe, maximum your second toe, so that you really lined the foot up behind the knees. Yes, you'll see your big toe and maybe your second toe, but no more. Good. Now this time we're going to start and we're going to take 2 breaths. So arch the spine, stay there for a second breath. Notice where there's compression and fullness, and then go in the other direction and stay there for a full breath. Gazing up, face can be forward or even down, but take the gaze into the third. And then go in the other direction. So to pause and take 1 full breath in either of the Vidalasanas. One more set. And then find yourself in neutral. Good. And then let's clean that peanut butter. Don't go outside of the jar. I think one of the things that contributed to my hip issue that I've been carefully taking care of for the last, well, maybe 12, 13, 14, 15 years is I used to like sling my hip out, go in the opposite direction. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep the hip and the shoulders in the jar. Don't forget the mouth of the jar, so just clean a little bit of it with your head. And then find yourself in neutral. Let's just come off the wrist for just a moment, just making some circles with the fingers. Good. Excellent. And then placing the hands again down on the floor. Good. And then step back with your left leg, right leg to join it, left knee down. So it's going to be much further back than it was before. Right knee down. Left leg back, press through the calf. Right leg back, left knee down, right knee down. See how much further you're back. Okay, one more time. Up with the leg to join it, left knee down, right knee down. Good. And then just press yourself back. Often this is called puppy pose when people call it downward facing dog. So since Babaji calls that mountain, we might call this hill pose. Reaching through your fingertips, your armpits are lifted. Heels are toward the ceiling, not toward one another. And then begin to look forward. And then draw your hands just back enough for you to push up into mountain. Okay? So curl your toes under. Let's take it slow. Take your knees off the mat. And then lift your hips. Really lift. I'm on my tippy toes. I'm on the ball of the foot. And then begin to relax the heels toward the floor. Just breathing. A few nice breaths. You're welcome to drop to your knees at any moment. We're using this briefly as a resting pose, and this isn't a resting pose for some of us. So just drop to your knees, and then you can come up to join us before we walk up. Right now, the spine is hanging in traction. Head is heavy. Sit bones are wide. And then let's look at the space between our hands. So draw your body over. You're like really in a hill now, okay? So I'm just then going to walk myself up a little and then walk my arms back a little until I sort of meet in the middle of my mat and rest. Gaze through your knees, let your crown of the head be toward the floor. And then we're going to bring the hands to the top of the thighs. Glue your elbows back by your ribs. And then slowly begin to look forward. Really slowly. Keep your knees bent. We're going to come through chair pose. So knees are bending, but they're not past your feet. And then gently, just lifting your arms to shoulder height. Good. And imagine there really is a chair right there for you to take a seat in. Good. Beautiful. Lizzie, legs a little closer together. Perfect. Good. And then gently, 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 gently come up. We're going to come up into Urdhva, so over, reaching up onto the ball of the foot, way up. And then let's do a prissy walk off around our mat. So a little massage to the kidneys and the adrenal glands sitting on them. Anya calls this cherry picking. The easier you are, the more massage to your adrenals. And boy, do we need that in this day and age. Good. And then lift up and slowly bring your heels and your arms down. Good. And then just take a short, brief standing shavasana. Just letting your pelvic floor relax for a moment, your belly relax, your shoulders relax. Just letting everything relax. Good. And then let's build from the floor up. So let's lift the toes, engage the arches, all four sides of the foot, the two sides of the heel and the ball of the foot under the big toe and the little toe. And then gently just drape your toes down. Good. Quads lift, knees are not locked. They're soft, but the legs are lifted. Pelvic floor lifts. Really feel that space between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Lift. Belly lifts. Feel that hollowing out of your belly. Shoulders up and back and down, and then relax. Good. So just finding yourself in Tadasana. Good. And then let's open our hands into the anatomic position, okay? And we're going to slowly raise the arms up, lift your toes, and raise the arms up overhead. Just lift your toes. Arms up again, Urdhva, but just with the arms. Good. And then flip your palms toward the sides and come down. Nice and slow. Keep the toes lifted. Good. Once again, anatomical position. And then arms are going to reach up. Good. And then flip the palms and the arms reaching down. Good. And this time when your palms come down, release your toes. And just notice how your calves are working for that to happen. Okay. So let's go lengthwise on our mat for just a moment. So initially, we're just going to come over to what we used to call and often call flat back. We know the back's not flat. We're going to keep our lumbar curve. We're going to keep our cervical curve. But what I'm going to do is hinge at the hip and come over until I feel comfortable. So that feels okay, right? Before I then begin to pour my torso out of my pelvic skin. Chatushpada Kabandasana, four-legged ghost pose. And then we're going to walk our hands over toward the right foot. Just walk it as far as you can. And back through the center. And then walk it over toward the left leg, left foot. Maybe different on both sides. And then come back into the center. And just let the crown of the head go toward the floor. So tuck your chin into your chest a little. You can always have your hands on blocks or even a chair. Let's lift our toes for just a moment. You may need to take your heels out a little further to the sides. Just finding that stability with this abduction. Good. And then just bend your knees a tiny bit, just a little bit. Bring your hands right where the thighs meet the torso. And then begin to press into your hands. Come up past that halfway spot. Coming up nice and slow, controlled. Good. Find yourself nice and tall. And now this time, I'm just going to bring in the heel. Okay? So I didn't go back again, just to find that difference when we sometimes do it the opposite way, just on the heel. So bring in. I'm on the ball of the foot, rotating. And then head it back. So belly button is here. Just watch my belly button change. Belly button is here, right? Belly button and belly button. Good. Okay, enough with that side already. Okay, So now let's go to the other. Heel comes in and heel goes back. Good. Heel comes in and heel goes back. Good. Heel comes in and heel goes back. Good. One more time. Heel comes in and heel goes back. Good. And let's heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, until we feel comfortable stepping back into that Tadasana for just a moment. Good. So with that external rotation in one leg, just a little bit of balance. I'm going to come to the back. Just a little bit of balance. We're going to peel up the left heel. Just peel up the left heel. And externally rotate that leg and place it on the ground. Just place it right there on the ground. Good. And then just gently let your arms come up to shoulder height. Shoulders are moving down. Good. And then with your left hand, press away. And your right arm, you're going to lean the whole body over. You can touch your index finger to your your thumb. And then look down at your leg and your foot. And then walk your gaze out to the side. Look at the wall, look at the ceiling, and then come up and look at your hand. Good. And then very gently begin to open both arms, open the arms all the way up as you come up, back into neutral, just coming right back up. And hands into the heart, Anjali. And release that leg. Good. And relax for a moment. That uses all of our postural muscles. Good. So peel up the right heel. We're going to externally rotate that leg and plant it. Good. Bringing the arms out to the side. Roll your shoulders and make sure they're nice and soft. Beautiful. And then press away, press away. Good. You can touch your index finger to your thumb. Then flip the palm and head over. Good. Look down initially at your leg. And then gently begin to walk your gaze up the wall, up the ceiling, until you're right at your hand or fingertips. Notice your breath. It's in the chest. Keep your belly firm, stabilizing your low back. Pelvic floor is lifted. And then we're going to gently just release both arms coming on and then down. And just relaxing. Hands into the heart. Good. And then lift the leg, come back and release. Excellent. Okay. Finding that standing Tadasana for just a moment. Just finding it, being soft and smooth in it. Good. And let's do one more time. Opening up. Good. And I'm going to lift the heel again and just on the ball of the foot, rotate. And just finding our warrior two. So nice, beautiful warrior two. Maybe make sure that your right heel is out enough. Good. And then gazing over your fingertips. Sink just a little bit deeper. You may have to kick your back heel out a little bit deeper for that to happen. Just a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Excellent. Raj, don't let your knee go past your foot. Maybe wiggle your foot out a tiny bit and you have a nice long stance. Good. Beautiful. And then arms opening, palms up, arms up, and straighten the leg. Come back. Good. Let's just hold the arms up for a second and then do your left leg. Same thing. Okay? And then our warrior two. So opening the arms, body is upright, not leaning at all. And then gazing out. One more nice long breath. Belly's engaged. Breath is in the chest. And then flip the palms. Begin to slowly raise the arms as you straighten the leg a little, not almost. And then coming up and unrotating and bringing the hands into the heart. Good. Let's heel, toe, heel, just to there. And just sinking down for just a moment. Good. Just look out over your left shoulder. Come back into the center. And look over your right shoulder. Come back into the center. Let's do that one more time, but let's go down to our forearms. Look over your left shoulder. And back, maybe to the floor. And then over your right shoulder. And back to the floor. And then let's place our hands down. And then heel, toe, wherever you need to go to get yourself into a squat and onto the floor. Just pass through your squat or any way to get to the floor. Good. Okay. So I'm going to have a block. And I want us to think about, well, first let's talk about inversions. So if you have glaucoma, eye pressure problems, if you're on your heavy days of your menstrual cycle, you should not invert. Okay. So the perfect pose for you is just putting your legs on a wall as high as is comfortable for you. This is even really fruitful for the body. Okay. If you are inverting, I'm going to recommend you do two things today. So you decide. Bridge pose. So this isn't bridge. This is just my legs are in bridge, but my shoulders are not. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to press my shoulders down and lift. That whole area of my thoracic spine needs to lift. So I can be there, or I can be here, or if I want to try Viparite, I can be there. So make that your practice, your inversion or lack thereof. If you know you shouldn't invert, please don't do it today. Okay? Finding out what's best for you. Good. Don't look at the screen. I'm not doing anything. I don't want you to get your neck compromised. You just do your thing. One more minute. Just imagine whenever you have Muladhara chakra, the root chakra, higher than Vishuddha, the neck chakra, you're in an inversion. And this aids the lymphatic system in draining again down into the subclavian vein. About 20 more seconds. And then slowly dropping your knees in toward your chest if you're in that position. And then one leg at a time, crawling down to the, and then the other leg. Then lift if you have your block underneath, lift off, pull your block out of the way, and then just drop your hips down to the floor. Looking for your Shavasana, your corpse pose. If you need a blanket or something to make it more comfortable. For those of you who haven't really ever seen Shavasana, I'm going to use my pillow because I have one under my knees, lying down. And I have a cold floor, so I'm not going to put my hands off the mat. I often like to say, please do that. But just open your shoulders. Make sure the shoulders are soft. Belly is soft. Everything's soft. Just releasing your body to the floor. Surrendering. Babaji says this pose is the hardest pose of all. Just letting. Slowly and gently bringing your awareness into the breath. Just notice a few rise and falls of your belly or your chest. Begin to scrunch up your face, wiggle your nose and your ears and your mouth, bringing all the senses online, squeezing your face, opening the mouth wide as if you were yawning. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, all of our sensory organs coming online. And then gently point your toes, flex your feet, point your toes, flex your feet, and then bend the knees and place your feet on the floor. Lift your hips and just wiggle them a little bit, and then shift them over to one side and drop your knees over to the other side, curling up in embryo pose. And then putting the hand of your on top arm onto the floor and begin to press toward it and push up, spiraling yourself up into a comfortable seat. Taking time to make sure your seat is comfortable. We'll be here for about almost 8 minutes. A blanket over me. Good. So initially, just watching the breath. Your eyes can take your gaze to the floor or close completely. Just watching the breath. If you soften your belly, just notice. If you soften your back, just notice. Rest your tongue in your mouth and let the tip of your tongue touch the back of the teeth where they meet the upper palate. Just noticing the breath. For just a few moments, controlling it by inhaling, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Breathe. Get in. Gliding yourself gently into your meditation. Just letting the breath go. Gently letting the breath go. Breath is soft and shallow and just enough to sustain. keeping the mind focused. Allowing your meditation to release. Just letting go of your focus, your concentration. Notice where the mind goes. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Remembering your intention and repeating it to yourself 3 times as if it were already happening. And any merit we may have earned this morning in our practice of yoga, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. So any prayers or petitions or someone, something that needs a little more energy, bringing that into mind. And then symbolically letting those thoughts drop from our mind down into our heart space, and from our heart space into the very palms of our hands, and then lift them up and just let go off into the universe. Just let go. Bringing the hands gently back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Mitzi apologizes for interrupting class. She has a habit. She loves to be in class. She likes to come to class. And if she can't get in because she went out early this morning and didn't come back before class started, then she goes to the window here and puts her claws in the screen and pulls on it until I let her in, which is where I disappeared to. So she apologizes.